All right, welcome back, U.S. History people. We have video number 5. This one is on Latin America. And to begin, we are going to go back to a famous doctrine that we learned earlier this year.
All right, so this year we talked about something referred to as the Monroe Doctrine. So what was the Monroe Doctrine? Well, this dealt with foreign policy, specifically under President Monroe. And it stated that European powers had to stay out of the Western Hemisphere. So it was pretty much President Monroe going to Congress, reading a letter, but it really wasn't for Congress. It was for the rest of the world, saying that the United States will really kind of be the world power in the Western Hemisphere. So Europe, you stay out of the West, we'll stay out of the East. Everything will be happy. The only issue was, Mr. Norris, did the United States really have the power in the early 1800s to back this up?
No, they were very weak and really couldn't back it up. It was more because of the Atlantic Ocean separating the two sides than it was the military power that kept Europe out of Latin America.
So you had these European countries saying, oh, look how cute, nice little America is trying to be cool here, or, saying what we can and can't do. So Europeans, they paid attention, but they really weren't overly concerned.
They were kind of laughing about it, yeah. All right, so the Roosevelt Corollary, you actually have this in your packet, but this correlates or goes along with the Monroe Doctrine. And what this states is that the U.S. could intervene in Latin America to preserve law and order. And it's called the Roosevelt Corollary because it is named after this guy, Teddy Roosevelt, his policy. So let's take a look really quickly before we get to the next bullet here. We have Teddy Roosevelt in the Caribbean Sea pulling what seems to be this brand new steel navy that was just put on display in that Spanish-American War. And you see him here in this above cartoon. It says the new diplomacy, and he's dressed as a police officer. So we see that the United States, their presence increases in Latin America, and the U.S. really becomes a world police power.
So Teddy Roosevelt was a very unique guy, especially as president. He had this famous phrase, speak softly and carry a big stick. Some historians considered him to be a very militaristic guy. He was very eager to get to war with Spain, but also he could be diplomatic. He actually won the Nobel Peace Prize, right, for negotiating a treaty between the Russians and the Japanese, ending the Russo-Japanese War. So he had this kind of double side to him, and it was evident in this phrase. He would say, use peaceful methods to protect interests when possible, but would use military force if necessary. So again, speak softly, carry a big stick. That idea that you should negotiate as a country, we should talk things out, but if it came to it, it was important to have a strong military to back up your policies and protect your interests.
Absolutely. Now jumping over to dollar diplomacy, this is associated with President Taft. And what this is that the U.S. could promote stability in other countries by increasing American investments. So the United States government would encourage American businesses to invest and banks to invest in Latin American countries.
All right. Also in Latin America, one of probably the most important things we need to understand from this time period, star circle underlying the Panama Canal. I don't think there's been a Regents exam recently that I've seen that does not ask at least one question or an essay, something dealing with the Panama Canal. And what this was a canal built through the Isthmus of Panama, which was controlled by the United States at the time and allowed for travel from the Atlantic to the Pacific Ocean to reduce. So you could move goods, ship from the east to the west coast much quicker. If there was ever a military issue, the U.S. Navy could move from the east to the west coast very quickly. So this was very important. Rather than going all the way around the tip of South America, you could quickly cut through the Panama Canal. And this becomes, even to this day, a major economic tool used. So you could look at it through technology, the importance of the Panama Canal. You could look at it through foreign policy. Very important topic to understand and remember for American history.
Absolutely, and we'll talk a lot about that in class. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you back here for video number 6. Have a good day.